to 9.03, we now want to calculate the gradient of a line. Put up your hand if you remember gradient from high school.
Yes.
Anyone, one of your favourite topics? Can anyone tell me what the gradient is? Does anyone remember rise over run? Rise over run. I've got a picture here of a person on a bike. That's terrible. Riding it uphill. Okay, with the vertical distance there being the rise and the horizontal distance there being the run. So the gradient is the rise over the run. So let's say that was a vertical height of 2 meters and this was a vertical run of 2 meters. The rise over the run would be 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the gradient of this line would be 1. So the gradient is the rise over the run.
Does that be 1?
Say again, sorry.
That would be 1. What did you say the answer was?
In that case, yeah, where the rise was 2 and the run was 2, the answer would be 1. All right, we're going to do, I'll give you some real examples now, not just the ones that are up. First of all, the example, if I'd put that example on a graph, right, and I'll do the dodgy bicycle again there, okay, where there is a positive inclination, which by that I mean as you move positively through the x values, the y values increase, that's a positive slope or a positive gradient. A negative gradient is the opposite. So where as you move positively through the x values, the y values decrease. And that's a negative slope. And this will be expressed as a positive number. You know, could be 3, could be 5, could be anything. This will be a negative number. You know, -7, negative whatever. Okay, so a negative slope, basically like the bike going downhill. Positive slope is the bike going uphill. That's a good way of remembering it. Maybe that's why they put the bike in the textbook. Excuse me. All right, let's see how quickly I can draw up their graphs. So we've got a real graph here. It looks like that. 2, 4, 6. It is crossing there at that point 2. -2, -4. It's crossing there on that point -4. And then shoots up that way. All right, so first of all, positive or negative? Well, if you think about the bike going uphill, it is it's a positive slope. What's the gradient of it? How do we work out the gradient? So, remember the gradient is rise over run. So let's carve out a little triangle here. I always find it pretty easy there at the x and y intercepts to see, otherwise you'd need graph paper. But here it's really clear that we go from 0 to 2, so the run there is 2. And we go from -4 to 0, so the rise there is 4. So the rise here is 4, the run is 2, so the gradient of that line is 2. I'll give you another one. This time it's negative. Okay. Two, 4, 6, crosses there at 6. 2, 4, crosses here at 3, and goes off like that. Okay, we need to use that graph to find out what the gradient is. First of all, a positive or a negative slope? Negative slope, okay, because the bike would be going downhill. Gradient is going to be the rise over the run. Okay, so the rise, you can see, so the 2 points we've got there are 2 and 4. This crosses halfway through, so that's there at 3. So the rise is 3. And the run there at 2, 4, 6. So the run is 6. And we've determined that it's a negative, so we're going to put a negative sign there. So the gradient of this line is -1/2. Okay? Press stop, please.